Namaste, everybody, and welcome to Round Glass. I'm Yeshe Rabgye, and thank you so much for joining me in this series live from India on relieving anxiety during these stressful times. So, today we'll be sharing a meditation which focuses on facing grief. So, we've been going through extremely difficult times for this last year and a half. So, there has been a lot of grief. So, this meditation hopefully will help you to start facing up to that grief and maybe helping you to move on. So, if you're comfortable, then please share a quality that comes to mind when you think of a loved one that you've lost. So, as I just said, during this time, we have all lost people we care about. We've all had grief and loss in our lives. So, it means that we need to be learning how to go through the grief process. And this process is a difficult process. And I know that when a few years back, when I lost my mother, then my emotions were up one minute and down the next. And I never really knew exactly how I was going to feel from moment to moment. And I'm sure that everybody else is going through this. So if you're feeling that way, then this is a good thing to try to do this practice and to help yourself through. So, thank you for sharing a few qualities you remember about your lost loved ones. And I see that people are saying mighty, protector, whip smart, caring, kind, funny, a leader, pure, simple love, compassionate, a great listener. Wow. So there are many, many different qualities that you remember about this person. And that's the thing that we need to be doing. We need to remember the person, remember those good qualities, because if we can remember those good qualities, it's going to help us through this really challenging time. So, if any questions come up for you during this practice, ask them in the chat and I'll have an opportunity to answer them at the end. But for now, I want to get ourselves settled in so we can start the meditation process. So, because this process is looking at grief, it may bring up some really challenging emotions in you. If at any time during this meditation practice you start to feel overwhelmed, then please stop, because that's not what this practice is about. This practice is about trying to help you to incorporate that death into your life. So we're not trying to move on, really. We're not trying to forget the person. We're trying to incorporate whatever loss we've had, incorporate it into our life. So together we can start moving forward. But if the meditation is going to cause you this pain and this suffering and make you feel overwhelmed, please just stop. You can always look back. This is going to be recorded. It will be on demand, and you can see it later on when you may be feeling a little bit stronger and a little bit more able to face up to the practice. So we're going to be thinking of just one person, and there may be quite a few people that you want to think about, but I'll just say think of one person in this practice, and we're going to look at, have we got things to say to them? Because if we have, we can tell them in this practice. If we think they want to say something to us, we can imagine they're doing that. And then we're going to think about the good times, the times that we've spent together. So this practice isn't about, drowning in that grief. It's about trying to think of how great it was to have that person in my life, how blessed I am to actually have had this time with that person. This is what I'm hoping to achieve by doing this meditation practice. So Just sit nice and comfortable. So if you're sitting in a chair, then just make sure you're holding your back a little straight, but then drop those shoulders so you're nice and relaxed. And put your feet flat on the ground and a little bit apart so you're nice and stable. Your hands you can put anywhere you want in your lap, wherever it's going to be the most comfortable for you. And now, just very slowly, start to close your eyes. So to begin with, I want you to listen for any sounds that you can hear. Don't engage those sounds. Just allow them to gently float in and float out of your consciousness. By doing this, you're bringing yourself very gently and slowly into the present moment. Now I want you to check in with your thoughts and your emotions. So here I just want you to observe them. So don't get yourself all tangled up in them and start telling stories. Just observe, what is your thought process at the moment? What emotion are you feeling at the moment? So now let's begin the meditation. I want you to focus your awareness on your breath and just become aware that you're breathing in and you're breathing out. Don't change your breathing anyway here. Just allow it to find its own natural rhythm. And when your mind starts to wander, just gently bring it back and focus on your breath again. So continue to focus on your breath, but now on your out breath. Each time you exhale, I want you to soften your shoulders, allow them to drop, and feel yourself gently sinking down into your chair and becoming totally relaxed. So continue to watch your breath for one more minute. And as you're watching your breath, let me just say a few words about grief. So the grieving process takes time. And unfortunately, there is no quick or easy way out of this grieving process. But even though it's painful, it's important to feel the emotions rather than avoiding or trying to suppress them. The more we try to avoid, the more it brings around emotional, psychological, and even physical pain. So if this meditation makes you cry, just allow those tears to flow. It's all part of the grieving process. But remember, if the meditation does become too much for you, just stop and return to it whenever you're feeling stronger. So now I want you to bring the person you're grieving over into the front of your mind. And try to picture the face of this person you're grieving over. And as you're thinking about this person, I want you to now focus on your feelings. But don't judge or criticize or analyze them. Just experience them. But remember to be kind and compassionate to yourself. And remind yourself, you're not alone in feeling this way. Anybody would feel exactly the same in these circumstances. So now I want you to imagine that the person that you're grieving over is sitting in front of you. Is there something you wish to say to this person? If so, begin to have a conversation with them and take a moment to say whatever is on your mind. And now visualize them saying whatever you think they need to say to you. If you need to ask for forgiveness, let them have an opportunity now to tell you. They forgive you. And if you need to forgive them, then tell them, I forgive you. I want you now to think of the most positive memories you have of this person. Reconnect with the happy and fun times that you spent together. And as you're thinking of these wonderful times that you spent together, just allow a soft smile to come across your face. And tell yourself, it's okay to smile when I'm thinking about the good and fun times we've been together. So continue to think of the positive memories that you have and the fun times you've spent together. Remember, it's these happy and positive moments that will allow your grief to become more bearable and over time less painful. So maybe now you've thought of something else you wish to say to the person. So before we finish the meditation, take this time to just say whatever you want to say to them. Maybe you never had a chance to say goodbye. So say goodbye to them now. So now slowly start to bring your awareness to your breath. So move away from your feelings and keep your focus on the breath. And just become aware that you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And if your body has become tense again, it's okay. It's natural. But on your out breaths, just slowly breathe that tension away. Let it go. Soften your shoulders and allow your body to relax again. So keep watching your breath for another minute or so. And as you're watching your breath, I want you to reflect back on the experience of doing this meditation. Has it given you a sense of closure? Did it help you to remember the wonderful times you've spent together? How did the practice make you feel? Just reflect on these points a moment. So now I want you to just very slowly start to open your eyes, but just sit there a moment, just gently bringing yourself back into your room. This is such a powerful meditation. So I want you to just take some time to gently bring yourself back to this outside world. There's no rush here. If any questions came up for you during this practice, feel free to ask them now in the chat. So there's one comment in the chat which says, after losing my mum from COVID in March of 2020, I appreciate honouring her with this practice and remembering positive and happy times. Today is her birthday and she would have been 81. Thank you, Lama Ji. Oh wow, that is so powerful. And thank you for joining this session. It couldn't be easy for you, I know that, and particularly on her birthday. But at least you're remembering the good times. You know what tends to happen is that we focus so much on the loss and we forget about the gratitude that we should have for having the opportunity to spend this time with them. Another comment from Mark says, remembering memories of games we played together. It's a extremely powerful meditation, this, but it's allowing you to focus on the good and not just focus on the loss. And Warren says, extremely difficult to do, very strong emotions, thank you. Yeah, and Warren, I know actually who you've lost and how you lost them, and that was such a traumatic time for you, I understand that. And of course, it is going to bring up really powerful emotions. But you know, it's by getting in touch with these emotions that is really going to help you move forward. So, what we need to try to do is really to think about the good times, appreciate the good times we've had together, and not just think about the loss. Of course, we've lost this person physically, we've lost this person, but mentally, this person is going to live on in our memories. And that's why this type of meditation is good to do, because it is going to help you. It's going to help you through these difficult times. So I would suggest that you try to do this meditation on a regular basis, giving you the opportunity to keep thinking of different times. And it's okay that if when you're going through this grieving process, it brings you to tears, allow those tears to come. You know, in Tibetan culture, they don't allow you to cry. They say it's not good to cry, but really I'm totally dead against that. I think we should cry. We have the ability to let that emotion out, and we should allow those emotions to come out. So the grieving process is different for everybody. It is unique for everybody. So, you know, you're going to go through bargaining and anger and grief, and you're going to go through maybe resentment and all these different types of processes as you go through the grieving process. It's all right to allow yourself to go through the process. It is different for everybody, and some you may stick on one process longer than another, but don't try to deny them. As difficult as it is, use this meditation practice to face up to them, because the more you face up to these emotions, the more we can learn from them and the more that we can grow and help move ourselves through them. So I really appreciate you taking the time to join this session and to do this meditation practice. I know that it hasn't been easy for many of you, and I appreciate that. So thank you for sharing your thoughts and your experiences of doing this meditation. And please follow me on Round Glass, and you can then check out my other live meditation practices and all the other meditation practices and articles and everything there on my page. So thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again in another session. So namaste.